Seriously, what the fuck is going on with the US? If y'all don't know, the US is trying to ban TikTok, and it's kind of wild. I think we can all collectively agree that the United States of America is very much a dumpster fire of a country right now, considering everything that's happening. But with this whole TikTok ban, I feel like they've reached a new low because the way that the Congress people handled their interrogation of the CEO of TikTok was appalling. It was seriously like an interrogation. It was like as if they were talking to a criminal or something. Approximately 150 million American people are using TikTok, and for the most part, people like to use TikTok to get news, to, be aware of what's happening around the world, to build community. And the government, the US government, sees that kind of transparency and they're like, ooh, we do not like that because we want people to not know about the world because it makes us look bad. And this ban on TikTok was approved by both parties. So not just the Republicans, not just the Democrats, it was both the Democrats and the Republicans. So just goes to show that politicians do not care about the average American citizen. They just care about lining their pockets. And there was a person on TikTok who found this website that showed every single politician's stocks, what shares they had, and it's pretty obvious why they want to ban TikTok. Let's kind of break it down a little bit. Why is the US obsessed about TikTok? Short answer, it's because of money. So we all know Meta, right? Meta, Facebook, Instagram. Basically, Meta is failing as a company because a lot of people are using TikTok instead of Instagram, Facebook, or whatever other social media. So Meta is bribing people, specifically politicians, to basically ban TikTok so they can become a monopoly when it comes to social media. And if you look at this, TikTok ban will benefit Meta, Google, and Snap the most. Interesting. But what the government is saying is that, oh, we're scared that a foreign company, specifically a Chinese-owned company, is selling American data to the Chinese. This is an invasion of privacy. But it's not TikTok that's doing that, it's Meta that's doing that. Listen, social media and anything on the internet kind of collects your data, inevitably, unfortunately, but Meta has been caught selling this data to other people. And if you don't believe me, here are a couple of examples. Meta fined 390 million euros over use of data for targeted ads. Apparently, Meta was fined for forcing consent, which doesn't really make any sense because you shouldn't have to force consent. Consent is given. You can't force it from their users to collect their data. Another really good example is the Cambridge Analytica scandal, which is a whole nother topic to dive into. But the short story is that Facebook sold the data of millions of America in order to skew the political election and eventually got Donald Trump elected. So that's a whole nother rabbit hole. If you're really interested in it, I highly recommend going down that rabbit hole because wow, so much corruption, y'all. And the whole anti-China kind of thing that they're coming from. If they're really concerned about American data going to China, you should kind of look into Facebook. Facebook gave data access to Chinese firm flagged by US intelligence. Bro, I know I'm talking a lot about Meta because it's like a direct competitor or whatever. It's not really a competitor, but you get my point. But Google also had a breach in privacy just in January of this year, I think. Yup, in January of 2023, Google filed customer data stolen in T-Mobile breach. Yet we use Google literally every single day. Also, another Google privacy breach. Google to cough up $392 million for user privacy breach. Dude, it's everywhere. I think that it's really important to have privacy regulations, especially when it comes to technology and especially when it comes to data. But conducting a witch hunt just for TikTok, but not reciprocating that energy for Meta or for Google is kind of weird. You can love TikTok, you can absolutely hate TikTok, but I think that we all somewhat kind of understand that the US government, the government intervening and banning an app, alarming. To me, this feels like the US government does not care about the people, and they don't really care about freedom of speech unless it benefits them. So let's take a look at some parts of the hearing which I found baffling. And I was just kind of like, wow, these are the people running the country. No wonder it's a garbage fire, because holy fucking schnitzerdoodle. Okay, here we go. We are starting with the introduction. So the opening speech.
Even if they've never been on TikTok, your trackers are embedded in sites across the web. TikTok surveils us all. And the Chinese Communist Party is able to use this as a tool to manipulate America as a whole. We do not trust TikTok will ever embrace American values. Values for freedom, human rights, and innovation.
Okay, hold up. She's saying, oh, TikTok does not value the American values such as human rights and freedom. Do you not see the irony? Why are you talking about human rights when the US has very little human rights right now? I mean, for fuck's sake, people are trying to get lynching back into the United States. Jim Crow laws have made a comeback. Why are you talking about human rights and freedom? Be fucking for real.
TikTok has repeatedly chosen the path for more control, more surveillance, and more manipulation.
More control, more manipulation, more control, whatever. That's exactly what they're doing with abortion rights.
That is 150 million Americans that CCP can collect sensitive information on and control what we ultimately see, hear, and believe.
Okay. Girl, I need you to be really real with me right now, okay? You're worried about what other countries can force into American minds. That's literally what you guys have been doing for the past how many fucking years. And American people are not taking it anymore. They're waking the fuck up and they're like, wait a second. What the hell is going on with this country? And TikTok played a really big role in helping a lot of American people wake the fuck up.
As a design feature.
Okay, I'm just gonna skip over what she says because honestly, it's not that much. It's like the same old anti-China rhetoric, and it's just, she's like, oh, you should be ashamed of yourself. We hate you. We hate your app. And like, that's basically it. Saved you a lot of time.
Chair Rogers, Ranking Member Pallone, members of the committee, thank you for your time. I am Shou, and I'm from Singapore. That's where I was born, as were my parents. And after serving in Singapore's military, I moved to the UK to attend college, and then here to the US to attend business school. I actually met my wife here. By the way, she was just born a few miles away from here in Virginia. 2 years ago, I became the CEO of TikTok.
Even if you don't agree with TikTok, even if you don't really like TikTok, I feel like we all agree that Mr. Chu is super freaking respectful. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you will by the end of this video. Let's get into some really baffling and irritating moments. So this is a representative from Colorado, and let me just play the video for you.
You spoke in your opening statement about a firewall relative to the data. But the Chinese government has that data. How can you promise that that will move into the United States of America and be protected here?
Congresswoman, I have seen no evidence that the Chinese government has access to that data. They have never asked us. We have not provided.
Well, you know what? I find that actually preposterous.
Oh, she's not. She's from California? Who the fuck elected her? Okay. You didn't even ask a question. You accused him of selling data, of like the Chinese people having this data. He responded, and you say, I find that preposterous. I will not believe you, even though you answered my question. Are you for real? Are you? So this is a really viral clip on TikTok right now because of how preposterous this question was. So let's hear it.
address the continued use of TikTok on military installations as well as any use that depicts U.S. military operations. Mr. Shou, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand.
Did you see his face? You know, it's viral for a reason, but every single time I look at this, it's just so funny. TikTok kind of edits this, not edits it, but it cuts out right after Mr. Shou responds. So let's see what the actual question is in terms of this whole Wi-Fi thing.
So if I have a TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Is it possible then that it could access other devices on that home Wi-Fi network?
Congressman, we do not do anything that is beyond any industry norms. I believe the answer to your question is no. It could be technical. Let me get back to you.
Okay, I'd appreciate it if you could answer that.
Oh, so that was it. He was just genuinely asking about Wi-Fi. Okay. Okay, so this interaction is also going viral on TikTok, and it is very unironically hilarious. Just watch.
I want to shift gears real quick. I want to talk about biometric matrix, and I want to talk specifically, can you tell me right now, can you say with 100% certainty that TikTok does not use the phone's camera to determine whether the content that elicits a pupil dilation should be amplified by the algorithm? Can you tell me that?
Bro, what? What is it with this pupil dilation thing? Do you think that the phone, like TikTok, is looking at you constantly and determines whether you like the video, depending on the dilation of your pupils? Of your pupils? That's some high-tech dystopia shit. I feel like you're going a little bit too ahead. That's not how it works. You have to like the video, you have to engage with it and interact with it to have it affect your algorithm.
The only face data that you'll get, that we collect, is when you use the filters to have, say, sunglasses on your face. We need to know where your eyes are. And
why do you need to know what the eyes are if you're not seeing if they're dilated?
What is up with this dilated stuff? About pupil dilation, does he have like this thing for it? Like what is the reasoning behind it? If you've tried the app, if you've tried any filters, not just on TikTok, you can do it on Snapchat, you can do it on Instagram. There are filters everywhere. This just goes to show that you haven't tried it. So therefore, how would you know if TikTok is bad or not?
And that data is stored on your local device and deleted after use if you use it for facial. Again, we do not collect body, face, or voice data to identify our users.
I find that hard to believe. It's our understanding that
What is with these people? It's like, oh, hey, we don't do that. Don't worry about it. We don't. And he's like, I don't believe you. Why is he here then? Why is Mr. Shou here to answer your questions if you are not going to listen? It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I genuinely don't know if this is like fabricated, because this cannot be real.
that they're looking at the eyes. How do you determine what age they are then?
We rely on age gating as our key age assurance.
Age
gating, which is when you ask the user what age they are.
Oh, lordy. Oh, girl. Did you really just ask how TikTok knows your age? You literally have to put it in yourself. Okay, you know what? Let's break it down together, okay? We are on TikTok.com, okay? We don't have an account. Sign up. Use phone or email. Oh my god, the first thing that pops up is, when's your birthday? If you don't know, you can actually calculate how old you are using your birthday. So that's probably why or how TikTok knows your age. Okay, thank you, Mr. Carter from Georgia. You were absolutely fucking hilarious, but not in the way that you think. Oh no, we're not done with Mr. Carter because he is going to have a very big tantrum.
We're talking about TikTok here. We're talking about children dying. Do you know how many children have died because of this? Do you have any idea?
Do you know how many children have died because of gun violence? So hi, Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter, Buddy Carter from Georgia, right? Georgia's 1st district. On his issues page, Second Amendment. Our founding fathers believed so strongly in the right to bear arms, they ensured it in the Bill of Rights. I won't back down when it comes to supporting the Second Amendment. So why are you talking shit? Your priority is with guns, not children. Don't act like you give a flying fladoodle about children dying, okay? This clip is also going a little bit viral on TikTok, and it's just blatant disrespect.
Account is used to promote or glorify off-platform violence, we ban the account. This video has been up for 41 days. It is a direct threat to the chairwoman of this committee, the people in this room, and yet it still remains on the platform. And you expect us to believe that you are capable of maintaining the data security, privacy, and security of 150 million Americans, where you can't even protect the people in this room?
So this clip, obviously, pisses a lot of people off. It pisses me off because of the blatant disrespect. And the video in question, I will show you guys the video in question. But it's a picture or a video of a gun with the words like the senator or whatever, this congresswoman or whatever. The thing with violations is that people have to submit a report in order for it to go against the violations. Not just TikTok, but Instagram, Facebook, you name it, every single thing out there. This video did not go viral. It's not, so there probably weren't a lot of people who reported it. So it's unfortunate, but blaming Mr. Shou for a random person uploading this is kind of out of pocket. It's kind of weird. Also, since we are on the topic of guns, why are you more upset about this AI video of a gun being fired rather than children being killed in school shootings? Make it make sense. Oh wait, it doesn't make sense. This, oh my god, my blood boiled when I first saw this.
The chairwoman of this committee and the members of this committee was posted on your platform. You damn well know that you cannot protect the data and security of this committee or the 150 million users of your app, because it is an extension of the CCP. And with that, I yield back.
Can I respond, Chair?
No, we're gonna move on.
Can I respond to this crazy allegation, this crazy attack? And he's like very polite. He's like, can I respond, Chair? And she says, no, you can't respond. I guess freedom of speech is only applicable for those in power, right? Interesting. And I was so frustrated with how people were talking over him. They were like saying, yes or no, yes or no. I asked you a really deep question now, yes or no. And it was just mentally exhausting. I don't know how Mr. Shou remained so calm and so polite throughout everything, because I would have lost my shit. But there were a couple of people who were actually kind of respectful, and I just wanted to bring light into this as well. So this is Miss Matsui from California.
Exacerbate existing mental health challenges. Mr. Shou, does TikTok have different policies for amplifying content that would be related to depression or dieting versus content like gardening and sports? If yes, describe these policy differences. If no, why not?
Congresswoman, thank you for that. This is a great question. The answer is yes. We are trying out some policies together with experts to understand certain contents that are not inherently harmful, like extreme fitness, for example, but shouldn't be seen too much. And these are models that we're building, and we are trying to understand, together with experts, how to best implement them across our platform, particularly for younger users.
Okay.
If they're not being like really aggressive and like being accusatory, a lot of these people, a lot of these Congress people are asking really valuable questions. For example, mental health. There's also a lot of, societal issues. There's a lot of misinformation questions out there. And those are all valid because TikTok, unfortunately, has a lot of misinformation. But once again, it's not a TikTok specific issue. It's social media and the internet in general. And then now we're back to disrespect and just general what the absolute heck is going on. This is Mr. Bilirakis from Florida.
Please, your technology is literally leading to death.
Literally? Literally leading to death? So TikTok is hiring like assassins or something to go around kill people? I have to like mentally prepare myself to even see this because it's so frustrating.
Mr. Chu, yes or no? Do you have full responsibility for your algorithms used by TikTok to prioritize content to its users? Yes or no, please?
Congressman, I'll just like to, if respectfully, if you don't mind, I would just like to start by saying it's devastating to hear about the news of,
Yes,
as a
yes.
father myself, this is
Sir,
tragic.
yes or no? I'll repeat the question.
The amount of times that phrase is spoken by different congresspeople in this 5-hour testimony is just... A lot of these yes or no questions are a trap. So you can't ask multi-layer questions and expect a yes or no answer because it's a multi-layer question. And then when Mr. Chu is like, okay, let me break this down. They're like, no, yes or no, what do you say? Yes, and they're like, ha, I got you. And he's like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. And this part is infuriating. Like, oh my God, like I don't know whether to laugh or to scream at this point.
Sad.
It's very sad.
This is why Congress needs to enact a comprehensive privacy and data security law to give Americans more control over their information and to protect our children. We must save our children.
A lot of these politicians use children. Like, we need to save our children. We need to do this. Why aren't you guys focusing on school shootings? The leading cause of death for children is gun violence. You can't say, we need to save our children. We must save the children without actually taking into consideration what's killing the children. It's guns. Yet politicians don't want to ban guns because it fills their pockets.
The single country, you know, we face the same set of challenges here in the
What's
US.
the difference? I'm sorry, I'm out of time, but what's the difference in China and here?
Let me give you an example, Congressman. In my home country, Singapore, there's almost no illegal drug content because Singapore has very strict drug laws.
This congressman was like, oh, there are so many drug posts on TikTok. We need to do something about it. Like, why aren't you regulating it? And that's an America-specific issue. The drug epidemic that is taking over the US, it is not TikTok's problem. It is the US's problem. Also, Singapore, one of the safest countries in the world. I think you get fined for littering and you get fined for spitting gum or something like that. Like, it's a very clean and safe country because there are strict rules and regulations when it comes to safety and how to basically function in a society. Unlike the US, so there's that. I feel like all of these questions are giving me migraines because, holy crap, wow, just ignorance, 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 y'all.
Room traumas. Your company knows that distressing content can have the perverse effect of feeding user engagement. And for TikTok, engagement means money. In the course of a week, what percentage of content that a user sees is considered potentially harmful or distressing content?
Congressman, we work with a lot of experts on this. Even before we set the 60-minute time limit for under 18s, if you spend too much time on our platform, you can try it. If you spend too much time, we will actually send you videos to tell you to go out and get some air and get off the platform.
What percentage of content that a user sees is considered potentially harmful?
Oh, God.
I will need to follow up with my team and get back to you on that, if that's okay.
Ballpark.
I will need to follow up with my team.
So are teenagers in particular shown more distressing content?
The opposite is true. We actually put in more restrictions to make sure that our teenagers get a better experience. You know,
Are expectant or new parents shown more distressing content?
I know of many parents, including one I met recently, who actually use our platform to find communities, to connect with other parents and learn a lot more. I've heard amazing stories of creators who have difficulties, you know, and
Reclaiming my
challenges they face.
time. Are individuals with eating disorders shown more distressing content?
So disrespectful. You can see on his face that because he's not getting the answer that he wants, he's like, okay, I don't care about how many people have benefited from TikTok. Is it distressing? I want you to say that it's distressing so I get my way. And this goes on. He says every single other group, he's like, well, what about these people? What about those people? Do they get more distressing content? And he's like, I don't fucking know, dude. Like it's an algorithm. So it varies by person. And like, obviously, if you want data, he has to go back to his team and get the data to see, oh, this percent. But like, how would you even like, what's the right? It's just, oh my God, this question is breaking my brain, but not for the reasons that he probably wants. It's breaking my brain because it's so fucking stupid. Another really good question from Miss Clark in New York. Let's hear her out.
From occurring on the platform. For example, I was disturbed by reports that TikTok content moderation algorithm flagged words like black or Black Lives Matter as inappropriate content. So my first question, Mr. Chou, is do you agree that platforms like TikTok should be subject to regular audits or transparency requirements to identify whether policies have a disparate impact on communities that are protected classes like race, religion, national origin, or gender?
I think, Congresswoman, I think platforms should be very transparent on what they do there and disclose a lot of information. We can get back on the specifics of what we mean by an audit, but I do agree very strongly that platforms should be very transparent, and it's a commitment that we're giving to this committee and all our users that our platform will be a place for freedom of expression. We embrace all diverse points of view, all ethnic minorities. You can come and say whatever you want, as long as you don't violate the rules of safety that were put in place. And we also commit to be free of all and any government manipulation. So I think I'm in strong agreement with a lot of what you said.
I feel like a lot of Black creators weren't given the recognition that they deserved, especially in the beginning when like TikTok trends were a huge thing and like people were dancing. Almost all of the trends and all of the dances were created by Black creators, but they never got the recognition or the credit that they deserved. I feel like Black creators have definitely gotten the short end of the stick when it comes to TikTok, and like I'm not sure about like viralability, but just like in general, I feel like a lot of Black creators have been kind of forgotten about. And this is a really good question. And also, did you hear that last part? Free of government manipulation. Oh. And that's probably why politicians are pissed off, because they want to control the media. They want to control what people have access to because they want to control the narrative, and they're not able to with TikTok. And more people are waking up to the fact that America is not the country that we thought it was. There are so many other moments that I could probably highlight, but on a closing note,
Congressman, I said in my opening statement, I think we need to address the problem of privacy. I agree with you. I don't think ownership is the issue here. With a lot of respect, American social companies don't have a good track record with data privacy and user security. I mean, look at Facebook and Cambridge Analytica. Just one example.
oh my God, do you see the two people in the background? Their smug faces. And like, to be honest, I would be like that too. Wait, I'm pretty sure I know them. Like the under the table news, under the desk news. I think I follow them on TikTok. Hold on. So once again, this is not a very TikTok specific issue. This is a social media and internet specific issue. I grew up in the late 2000s, early 2010s, and we did not have TikTok. We had Instagram, we had Facebook, and we had other places like Tumblr, for example. Do you think that everything that's been happening on TikTok wasn't relevant back then? No, dude. The dark web is literally a thing. So it doesn't have to deal specifically with TikTok. It has to do with the internet. How are you going to regulate it, especially for minors? That is a really big issue and a really big concern. I would be concerned too. But a lot of these issues, it's a very general thing, okay? When I was a kid, I had a lot of access to the internet. And a lot of access to the internet meant that I could have access to very, very harmful topics. I got into this like Tumblr blog whole thing about trigger warning about self-harm. I joined communities that were specific for people who were advocating for, not against, for self-harm. And all of like these weird TikTok trends that are resulting in people getting like hurt or killed or whatever. Do you guys not remember Tide Pods? People were eating laundry detergent because it was really pretty, like the forbidden nugget. Also, do you guys not remember like 2 Girls, 1 Cup? Don't look it up if you don't know. Don't. I mean, unless you're like into that, but like I just don't. All of these like harmful things that are available on the internet, it's not specific to TikTok. We have to do something. Not me, I can't do anything about it. The representatives, the people who are hired, who are voted in to office, need to do something about privacy. But attacking TikTok and attacking this one person, Mr. Shou, and antagonizing him for everything that's going on with the internet, that's not it, dude. This whole circus of this, congressional hearing about banning TikTok, it doesn't really make a lot of sense, because if the US government wanted to win over the trust of the American people, this is the last thing they should be doing. If privacy is this big of a deal, I mean, it could be, it should be, absolutely. Data privacy is very, very important. We need to be doing this to every single social media platform, because every single social media platform is like that. And the number 1 and number 2 social media platforms that sell consumers' data, the users' data, is Facebook and Instagram, respectively. So they're both Meta. So instead of focusing on banning TikTok, I think that the US should be focusing on basic human rights, because it seems non-existent at this point. So for example, I have a list of a couple of things that are happening in the United States right now in 2023. Number 1, Jim Crow laws are returning in Mississippi. Representatives want to ban any conversations about gender identity, and they want to abolish gender studies in Florida. Arkansas just passed a bill that makes it easier for child labor to happen. Not to mention Roe v. Wade being overturned, so there are tons of people with uteruses that do not have access to safe health care. And to make matters worse, they want to execute individuals who get abortions. The call is coming from inside the house, okay? I feel like a lot of US representatives are really scared about foreign companies, especially like a Chinese-owned company. Oh, ByteDance, oh, CCP. And like, yes, they might be valid to a certain extent, but you have to understand that the American people are pissed off. Not because of the CCP, not because of China, not because of other foreign companies, but because the American politicians and the American rulers are unaliving them. Honestly, I am very biased towards TikTok because I personally like TikTok. I like how it brings a community together. I feel like there are a lot of great people that I've met through the app and a lot of people who I connected well with, and it was super nice. But I do understand that there are problems with the app, such as misinformation. There's a lot of, glorifying mental illnesses, and a lot of Black creators are not getting the recognition and the credit that they deserve. It's not TikTok specific. This is just generally internet and social media. And this whole fiasco is actually making TikTok a lot more positive, and it's making TikTok a lot more popular, especially Mr. Shou, because there have been thirst traps posted about Mr. Shou. And I'm like, you know what? He's a very attractive person. He is very, calm-headed, cool-headed. He is very competent. He is very polite. He has more class than everybody on this panel combined. So I don't blame them. But I feel like US representatives have to understand that they are pushing away the American people with this. And just because there was a congressional hearing the other day does not mean that TikTok is definitely going to be banned. If you don't want TikTok to be banned, you can contact your representatives to make sure that this does not get passed and TikTok does not get banned. I think I'm going to leave that here. I will leave the link to this whole congressional hearing in the link or like in a comment or something. So if you want to watch it and also potentially rip out your hair like I did, by all means go for it. And I will also include the phone number to contact your representatives if you would not like TikTok to get banned. Thank you guys so much for watching this very frustrating video, because it's very frustrating. And I hope that it was kind of fruitful or at least entertaining. And yeah. So I'm gonna go lie down because this was very, very emotionally taxing, or like mentally taxing. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching again, and I will see you next time. Bye.